Hi, welcome to Let's Have a Yarn About Anxiety Strategies. In the last Let's Have a Yarn About Anxiety video, we had a look at how anxiety works in our bodies and the hormones and neurotransmitters associated with it. In this video, I'll just be sharing some of the tools and strategies our family uses to help meet the challenge of anxiety and sleep issues, and I hope that you might be able to come away from it with a new strategy or tool or new perspective even, or just a new way of being able to tackle these sorts of issues in your family or for yourself. So let's have a look. The strategies and tools our family has used to help combat anxiety have focused on both anxiety directly and sleep. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I want to reiterate the importance of understanding defense mode and building connections before you try introducing lots of new strategies and tools. I'm more aware of it than ever at the moment, as a bunch of strategies I thought our daughter had learned recently have been lost as she has gone further into defense mode than I thought. If you haven't seen my video about this, please click on the link to it in this video or in the comments, because this is definitely the starting point. For sleep, we have quite a number of tools and strategies that we use. The first one is melatonin. To begin with, we use prescribed melatonin from the paediatrician. We use 2 milligrams slow release 1 hour before bedtime. We used slow release for my son because getting to sleep was not the issue. It was rather just staying asleep. He would wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. every morning and not get back to sleep. We have since reduced and have now completely eliminated the need for melatonin with the use of some other strategies, which has been fantastic. And he is now sleeping to between 5 and 6 a.m., usually around 5:30 to 6. Essential oils. These have become an integral part of our sleep strategy, and we use them in lots of different ways. The naturopath. We've found a great naturopath here in town, and she has prescribed GABA and 5-HTP supplements, which, as you remember from the previous Let's Have a Yarn About Anxiety video, they're the chemicals that the brain can synthesize into serotonin, which is then used to make melatonin. So we don't actually use those anymore either, but they were great at the start. Light. Now again, as we learned in the last video, the pineal gland uses the presence or absence of light to trigger or stop the production of melatonin. So we have reduced the amount of natural light in our rooms. We have reduced the blue-green lights as well, like screens and phones and tablets and tellies before bed and in the rooms, because that blue-green light tricks the pineal gland into thinking that it's daytime and to stop producing melatonin. For example, our son has a clock now with red numbers on it instead of the blue-green ones, because he's obviously quite sensitive to it, and if he sort of woke up and sort of glanced at the clock, he would wake right up. So we've swapped that out, and that's made a difference as well. The other strategy that we use is music. The girls have just normal speakers in their rooms, and we use music that has no lyrics, and it's just, calming and gentle, and it plays all night. Our son used to use that, but he now has a great pillow that we got through our OT, and it's got a special speaker in there that actually plays music, and you hear it via bone conduction, and that's been a really good game changer for him as well. Some of our strategies for anxiety specifically. First one, as always, is spending some time to get out of defense mode. I honestly can't emphasize that one enough. Gut health. Like I've said previously, gut health is a topic for a whole other series of videos, but we are starting to target some gut health because of its implications in anxiety and mood and depression and all that sort of stuff. And so that's something that we've started to target in our family as well. Occupational therapy. Our family has been blessed to find a wonderful OT in the last year. She's working really hard on helping the kids' bodies to regulate the incoming stimuli in lots of different ways, including sound therapy, pressure therapy, and exercises. She's also wonderful at providing the school with tools and strategies to use to help reduce the amount of anxiety they feel at school. And these interventions are helping now in a way they didn't, even just 12 months ago, because we've been spending time getting the kids out of defense mode, and quite obviously we need to spend some more time, particularly with our daughter, on that. Psychologist. We are also very blessed to have a really spectacular psychologist who works so well with each of the kids and me, thankfully. She's been fabulous at working on emotional literacy and dealing with anxiety. And again, we've received the most benefit from working with her after Joel and I worked on building relationship with the kids. Prior to that, the kids would go, they'd nod, they'd comply at the time, but they really didn't take on anything because they did not yet feel safe. Again, the naturopath with GABA and 5-HTP supplements, but also she had a few other tricks up her sleeve and things as well, so she's been invaluable. Essential oils. Again, essential oils have become a really important tool in our toolbox. We use them topically and aromatically for both long-term assistance, but also to help us at times of acute anxiety. Actually, thinking about how much essential oils have helped us, I might try to make some videos in the future about using them. Using oils, particularly aromatically, is a great way to assist in reducing defensiveness, especially at the beginning, because it doesn't require any buy-in from the person. You are not asking them to do anything, except maybe choose smells that they like. You can simply diffuse them and allow them to do their thing. Using topical blends is also very empowering, as my kids know that if they need some support, they can reach for their roller bottle and apply it themselves. They are learning strategies to help themselves rather than always relying on mum to be able to help them. And lastly, but by no means least, we work with teachers and aides to overcome obstacles in their learning to help decrease anxiety surrounding it. Before we go, I just wanted to share 2 really great, simple, easy strategies to help in times of really acute anxiety that our psychologist has shared with us. The first one is bubble breaths. They're also known as lazy 8 breaths. So the way we do that is we breathe in through the nose, hold it for a second, and then slowly release the breath through the mouth as if trying to blow a bubble. Alternatively, as a different sort of visualization, use the asymmetrical number 8 lying down. Trace your finger over the smaller part as you breathe in, wait for a second in the center, and then exhale through the mouth as you trace around the larger part of the 8. You can actually have a lazy 8 drawn somewhere if that helps, or you can just trace it on your hand or desk or wherever is appropriate. Choose the visualization strategy that works best for you, and do 4 to 5 of those breaths every time you feel like you need to. The next strategy, the 5-4-3-2-1 for panic attacks, is if you've done 5 or so bubble breaths and you are still struggling, try grounding yourself by doing the following. Stop. Name 5 things you can see. Name 4 things you can hear. Name 3 things you can touch. Name 2 things you can smell. And name 1 thing you like about yourself. Often, the 1 thing is actually 1 thing you can taste. But I have seen this as an alternative, and I think it's a really great way of reminding yourself that there are great things about you, because in the midst of a panic attack, there is no room for positivity about yourself. I have seen this one work for myself, even just today actually, before a job interview. I've seen it work for my kids, and I've actually had other people tell me that it works really well for them too, because it just slows yourself down and it stops you from thinking about your anxiety and starts you focusing outwards again. So it's a really good strategy to use. This is by no means an exhaustive list of all the tools and strategies available. However, I hope it's given you an idea for a new tool to put in your toolbox or strategy to try. Please feel free to leave comments or questions in the comments section below, or to send me an email or find me on Facebook. All the details are at the end of this video. In the coming videos, we'll have a look at issues like executive function. Like I said before, I'll be doing some videos about oils and how we use them. And I'll also try and do a video about some of the anywhere body break strategies that we use as well. All right, I'll see you then.